Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk All-Star NBA Edition. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am here with Mr. Dawson Sarvati on this All-Star Sunday. Can you believe that it's the All-Star game already?
Yeah, I know it snuck up. I usually look forward to this like crazy, but I can't believe it's even happening this year.
I know. I mean, it didn't look like it was going to happen. Then they decided they're going to move it to Atlanta. And just, with everything else, it's crazy, but at least we're coming out of it and we're getting back to normal little by little here. So great stuff. But we're going to make this a pretty quick one today. We're going to just give our two buy up picks for the showdown slate tomorrow, and then our two mid-level to value picks that we think will really do well for you in your showdown lineups. And then in case any of you are doing some wagering on the skills 3-point and dunk contest, we're each going to give our pick for that as well. So we will keep things just moving along here today. We really do thank you for joining us. And if you want to jump in with us, if at DFS Coach Talk today, we are not starting the clock on our memberships until Wednesday. So we decided during this hiatus we were going to freeze our memberships as far as the time going. And if anybody comes aboard, if they purchase even a 3-day pass, which our 3-day pass is $10, the clock will not start till Wednesday. So even though you're joining today on Sunday, you will get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the 3-day pass. So jump in, check out our Discord. We have the best group in the entire industry, great information. We've got huge sweats coming tomorrow in PGA, so that's going to be a lot of fun before the NBA festivities. And if you don't know the schedule for tomorrow, it starts at 6:30 p.m. on TNT. They'll do the skills 3-point and dunk contest, and then it switches over to ABC for the All-Star game at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that's the schedule for tomorrow night, and we're looking forward to it. So, Dawson, I will start us off with my first pay-up choice, and we decided we weren't going to tell each other who our picks were, so that if we do have a replicated pick, then that's even more power to picking that guy. So my first pay-up guy is my pick for the MVP of this game, and that's Joel Embiid. And the reason I wanted to take him as my main guy is I just think it's his season. I mean, he's in very serious contention for the All-Star the MVP. He's close with a couple of guys, of course, LeBron and the Joker, and a few guys are pushing it. But right now, I think if the season ended, he would be the MVP. So we know these games are tough to predict. And, with Embiid, I think he's going to get good minutes. We know he's starting. I don't see any way around the fact that he'll be on the floor for the end of the game, even, if it's close, just like he was last year, and played a huge role there. So, I feel very comfortable with him. He's playing more minutes. He's healthier. I think he gets a lot of run, and he's my favorite pay-up guy. How about your first selection?
Yeah, well, firstly, I want to say I like Embiid. I didn't go with him myself, but I mean, last year he played for Team Giannis. He played the second most amount of minutes on the team, and
Yeah,
now he's being coached by Doc Rivers. So I think it's a great pick. But for
he's
my
on
first pick, I
LeBron's team
went.
this time, right?
Oh, no, I think
Yeah,
he's Team Durant still, right? Yeah,
I
he's Team
have him on
Durant
LeBron.
with the.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the other
Yeah,
reason I liked him. I'm sorry, I messed it
yeah,
up. Because I don't think his team is as good as LeBron's team, so I think he should even get more
right.
of that responsibility. So sorry
And
about that.
having your own coach, yeah. Having your own coach always helps. But for my first selection, I went
No
with
doubt.
Stephen Curry. I think he's likely to win MVP here. I would not be surprised at all. If you
Yeah,
look at the last time he played an All-Star game, it was back in 2019, and he took let me look right here. I got it pulled up. He took
a lot of
17
shots.
three-pointers. A lot of shots, right?
No way.
He took 17 threes. Or was that Lillard? Let me see if I can find it
I
actually.
believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
17 3-pointers. And he only made 4 of them.
Ooh.
So if he hits his normal percentage, he's an automatic MVP in that game. And so he
Ooh.
shot 23% from three. And so, and look at the best of the best guys, the instant Hall of Famer guys, they all tend to win an MVP. So,
True.
your LeBrons, Durant's, Jordans, and all the way back. So I think in this game, if you look at the guys that don't have one yet, that probably should have one, I think it's him. And he's playing with 3 of the most willing passers in the league, especially in a game like this with Doncic, LeBron, and Jokic. So I think
Great point.
he's very likely to win it.
That's a great call. And, he doesn't, there's not very much that he doesn't have on his, repertoire of what he's done in his career. So All-Star MVP would be the next thing up. So great call. All right, I'm going to go with my chalky chalk second buy-up guy. And I hate to pick a chalk guy, but I don't know how you don't have this guy in your showdown team. You maybe not have to put him at captain, but I just think he's a necessity, and that's, of course, Giannis. I mean, he's shown that he plays, really well in these All-Star games. He's a go-to guy. He's healthy. He's been playing minutes, and it's going to be hard, to leave a guy off like that. That will probably be in the top, would you say, maybe 3 point scorers, DFS point scorers in this game. So I think he's got to be a piece of that lineup. And, for all the reasons that just make him probably the chalkiest guy on the slate. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, just for the reason alone that it's Giannis, he has, that you look at Westbrook winning the MVP 2 years in a row, and Giannis shares that same mentality where he's going to play every single game, to his full capability. So, uh,
Right.
but for my second pick, I went with Damian Lillard, and he's not really,
Wow.
one of the more expensive guys, but I just had to include him because I definitely don't think he's a value guy either. But if you look at the last time he played, it was the same year as Steph, and he also took 17 3-pointers, but he only made 6 of them. And
Wow.
he took the most shots out of anyone on his team. And so we know he's willing to shoot in a game like this. But also, I think this year you add the narrative of him being cheated of that starting spot. The
Good
whole talk
point.
about him being as a disrespected player and all that. So I think he's just a guy where they're going to be open shots, and him more than anyone will be likely to hit an open shot.
It'll be interesting to see Curry and Lillard if they're going to pull up from like half court, because they're going to put up some real
Yeah, I
long ones.
mean
So
they almost do that anyway, so I wouldn't be shocked to see a full court type of shot.
who knows with those guys, man? They're going to let them fly, no doubt about it. That's good, and that's a pay up to some extent, but also maybe a value if he's going to be one of your key plays too. So I think that's a
How
great
you look at
choice.
it.
All right, let's jump to the 2 guys that we're looking that are value guys, and I'm going to go with first-time All-Star Bradley Beal. He's
Wow.
starting. I think he's going to be taking this game very seriously. I think he wants to show that he's one of the best players in the league. He leads the league in scoring right now, which is pretty impressive. And, I think if there's a guy that really wants to come out that hasn't been on this stage before and prove that he can really play, I think it's him. And so I think he's going to take some extra shots. We know his forte isn't defense, but in all-star games, except for down the stretch, maybe you're going to get a lot of back and forth, and he won't just take threes. He'll take it to the hoop. He'll get baskets any way he needs to, and I think he gets a decent burn here in this game as far as minutes goes, and I really like him. Again, he's at that mid-level pricing, but not in that top echelon of guys price-wise. I just think Beal's a really strong, safe play here, specifically in any cash games that you play. I think Bradley needs to be part of that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't consider him. I didn't really think about it, but all of those points are very valid. I didn't realize he was a first-time All-Star. That's shocking. I can't
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah.
But for
He's
my
never
first,
started or been voted in for sure.
yeah,
So it's going to be, and I just don't think he gets the acknowledgement from the NBA world. Maybe because
yeah.
the Wizards always stink. That could be,
I mean,
but
within that
yeah,
NBA circle, yeah, he did get voted in, but
yeah,
he's always got something to prove amongst his peers. But
no
uh,
doubt.
so I could have gone with I was considering making Lillard my value play, but I wanted to give some like real values. So I went with Rudy Gobert as my
Oh
first,
my gosh.
and that
Okay.
might be crazy to hear,
Because
but
he
what it
was
might be crazy to hear for
disrespected.
you is well, yeah, but a lot of people don't know last year he had 21 points and 11 rebounds,
Yeah.
and he was
He
one
he
of the
took it
higher
serious.
fantasy
He
guys.
wanted he wanted to get the MVP. You could tell he was going
Yeah.
for it.
He
Yeah,
had 21 and 11, and then this year his coach is coaching the team in Quinn Snyder.
that's
So
true.
he's going to get more minutes. He'll probably play just as hard, and he is what is he here? He's one of the cheapest guys on this list. So
He
I think
is.
it's a decent value play, and in the sense that you can plug him in there and take just about anyone else because of how cheap he is.
That is a great idea. And the thing is, he's been the last pick 2 years in a row.
All
So
right.
he's got to, that's got to tick him off. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, the the narrative as far as taking Jazz guys, whether it be Mitchell, Gobert, or Conley, that's pretty valid. I mean, they're certainly disrespected. They, LeBron and Durant sort of trashed them in the picks that they did with leaving the two Jazz at the very end, and then Conley just gets in because of the Booker injury. Um, so no respect for the Jazz guys. Best record in the NBA. So, and you're right, his coach is coaching. So, very interesting to see if he'll get those guys some extra run for sure. So it could be very good pick. All right,
Mhm.
my second value guy is Zach LaVine. I think that the fact that he gets in here, he's a first-time All-Star, and he's again something improved guy that's been absolutely red hot. I mean, he's hit some incredible shots throughout this entire first half, playing the best basketball of his career. And he's got Chicago in a position where they're battling for a playoff spot, which nobody expected. So I just think again, extra motivation for him. I'm hoping he gets enough run, and I think his price is extremely affordable, and really like his chances of making value. And even if he's your last guy in, I think he can make a difference. So I'm going with Zach.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, you had Beal and Levine, and if you told me that either of those guys would lead the game in scoring, I wouldn't be surprised. So
Yeah.
those are both great picks. I went with a guy who I could not believe he's the fourth cheapest guy in this slate, and that's Chris Paul. And that makes
Yeah,
zero sense to me because if
true.
you look at Team LeBron in 2020, he didn't have Luka Doncic starting the game. He had Chris Paul there in the fourth quarter. And that,
Yeah,
he won. See if I can pull up his stats right here.
yeah.
Um,
He has a good chance of more than likely finish the game
I
with.
absolutely agree. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're playing for Team LeBron, you're gonna play if you're his best friend. He had 23 points last year, and 6 assists and 2 rebounds in
yeah.
25 minutes. And I mean, if you get that type of production of your fourth cheapest guy, I mean, you can do just about anything. And so for that fact alone, I took Chris Paul.
That's a great call. I remember he burned me last year too, so I'm taking two chances on him, not playing
Yeah.
him again. So, but that's a good call. Love it, love it. All right, let's dive right into these contests. And I haven't pulled up the odds on betus.com.pa yet. I'm going to do that here as we get closer and see if there's any movement on them. But I know my picks may be a little chalky, but um, we you never know. You can get some good odds as things change here. So just real quickly too, wanted to mention, our other great offer that we have on the table right now is the BetUS 149 offer. If you sign up as a new member with BetUS and deposit 149, you send us at DFS Coach Talk on Twitter. Let us know that had taken place, and then you get a free membership with Coach Talk all the way through June 1st. So we're at the beginning of March to get that membership for free and then get to use that 149 on BetUS. It's a fantastic deal. If you've already deposited at BetUS or you have an account already and you just want to get the deal through us, just go to dfscoachtalk.com and there you can select the 149 membership that takes you all the way through June 1st. So you'll get, a ton of NBA, all the MLB that's going to start soon, and then our PGA, which has been on fire, as we're hopefully going to be on a 5-game winning streak after tomorrow. So we'd love to have you there. All right, Dawson, I'll let you, so it doesn't look like, again, we didn't compare notes here. I think we're going to have maybe 2 of the same picks here. That's just my gut feeling. So you can go first. Who's going to win the skills contest?
The skills contest, it's really up in the air. I mean, it just depends. You don't know, but for me, I'm gonna go with Robert Covington. And
Wow.
just for the fact alone that I've never been correct on a skills contest prediction because these things are so hard to predict. And I don't know
Yeah,
why Covington is in the skills contest. He's a 3-and-D player. That would be
really
like one of
weird.
the last guys I'd pick, but I mean, what the heck? He's a good 3-point shooter, and so it really depends on that shot there in the new format. So I think he'll hit the shot, and I think he can go all the way.
Well, that's you're going to get great odds on him, that's for sure.
That's
I'm
yeah,
going chalky here. I'm going Chris Paul. I just think, when you combine the speed, the accuracy on the pass, and then being able to knock down a shot, I just think he's the guy to beat. And I never picked the bigs in this, and they do pretty darn well. They've won these competitions, so who knows? It is a tough one, but I'm going Chris Paul. All right, 3-point contest, which is my favorite. I love the 3-point contest. I mean, I can tell I have such great memories through the years. The Jordans, the Reggie Millers, the Larry Birds. I'll tell you, it's always a treat. The Larry Bird story is my favorite. They tell it all the time in the All-Star 3-point warm-up. They were all out there getting ready to go out. And he said, "Hey, boys, who wants to finish second?" Just putting that, in their brain. And he was a multiple 3-point winner. So
legendary. Yeah.
amazing, legendary. But all right, so who do you got?
Well, I usually like to take a guy who's kind of a shock pick here, but this year particularly, I mean, Stephen Curry is just the best shooter there, period. And
Yeah,
I mean, I know he's always the best shooter, but if you look at this group of guys, I don't see anyone else that can get the ball up as fast as he does, even close to it, or as accurate. I mean, I think in a year like this, you just go with the top guy. I think it's going to be Steph.
I'm with you. I'm, chalk city here, but I mean, he's the greatest shooter in the history of the game. And I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen a lot of them through the years, and I think he's the best. I think he really knocks this down. I think he wants to win this,
Yeah.
Uh, last time he was in it, he lost. So I think he goes in there and goes after it. And I think he's just going to be tough to beat, chalk or not chalk. All right, the last one, a really bizarre 3-man dunk contest with
Yeah.
guys that you would not pick to be in this thing. Very weird. So we've got Cassius Stanley, we have Obi Toppin, and then Anthony Simons. I mean, no one would have
Yeah.
projected that one.
Bizarre.
So yeah, who are you going with here?
Well, part of me wants to take Simons just because I feel like the NBA knows something that we don't with him. He's going to come out and shock us. But I
Yeah,
mean, I got to go with Cassius Stanley. Dude's got like a
yeah.
near 50-inch vertical, and he's one of those guys that's in the league almost just to win a dunk contest. I mean, he's got a limited role in Indiana there, and he as a rookie, and I think he's the best athlete. And none of these guys, I mean, we don't have much info on, but I think Stanley's the best athlete.
Yeah, and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I knew we'd have 2 of the 3 same. I like Cassius
Yeah.
Stanley also. I mean, he's got the best vertical. Let's face it, the smaller guys wow people more with the leaning dunks and all the crazy stuff they do. I think Obi Toppin's probably going to be the favorite just because he's just a well-known great dunker and power dunker. But I don't think anybody knows who Cassius Stanley is and don't realize that this dude is a freak and he can jump. And I think he'll do some of these hanging reverse kind of crazy dunks that will bring down the house. So that's really my favorite bet of the three of them because I like the fair odds that you get. And to me, I think he's going to be tough to beat, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he's one of those guys when you were watching the draft, he's kind of looked at as a guy that's like, oh, okay, that's a dunk contest guy. That's a
Yeah,
guy that jumps out of the gym. That's what he does.
no question about it. All right, man, that's it. We wanted to just put something out here for you guys because we're with this respite with no podcasts. It's really bizarre. We'll be back in the fold come Wednesday when there's a huge slate. Andrew and I will be back at it as normal, just going through the entire slate and breaking it out, breaking it down. It'll be fun here. I think we may see some trade talks start really brewing, and you'll probably see some things come down on Monday and Tuesday. So it'll be fun to see how that plays out, and we should be in line for a great second half of the season. Now that, we were every game, every day, you're just hold your breath. There's not going to be COVID cancels and shutdowns, but I did see the commissioner, Adam. I saw Adam Silver speak before this just a couple days ago about the All-Star game in the second half, and there's no way they're shutting down. I mean, unless the entire country, for some bizarre reason, has to shut down again, they're playing, and whether they have fans or not will be the secondary piece. But at least as NBA fans, basketball fans, and DFS fans, it doesn't look like we have anything, to worry about as far as the completion of the season and the playoffs. So that's great news. Maybe life will get back to normal here very soon. So, all right, Dawson, thank you so much for jumping in here with the All-Star picks. It'll be fun tomorrow night. Again, that's 6:30 Eastern, starts on TNT, followed by the 8 o'clock All-Star game itself. So check it out. And then enjoy the couple of days off. Monday and Tuesday, we'll be doing all kinds of preparation work for the second half of the season. And again, we'll be with you then on Wednesday. So for the whole DFS Coach Talk team and for Dawson Sarvati, I am the coach. We will catch you again when we look to crush it in DFS.